Let's try. Yeah. Right in the middle.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to October 4th, 2016 City Council meeting, 6 o'clock p.m. And we are going to start with a moment of silence and the pledge of allegiance led by Mr. President.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mayor Jerome,
Here.
Mr. Willett,
Here.
Mr. Creel,
Here.
Ms. Rich,
Here.
Mr. Wilson,
Here.
Mr. Slaney,
Here.
Ms. Gillett,
Here.
Thank you. Before we start public comment tonight, I'd like to introduce the new face here at our ballots tonight. Mrs. Robin Hayes, our new city manager, is with us tonight, as you all can see.
Thank you. I appreciate the reception. I've been here a week, and it's been a wonderful week full of lots of activities and very interesting stories, and it's just been a joy. So I spent a lot of time downtown and walking around this great city, and I'm just very impressed. So I'm looking forward to many days of doing the same thing and serving the council, the city, and the employees. So I thank you very much, and I look forward to a prosperous year. Thank you.
Okay, public comments on for 3 minutes. Name and address, everyone will come on up, and have one card tonight, and Michelle Lumpen.
Michelle Middleton, President of Mount Vernon Center for the Arts. I just wanted to say that once again we're having our big fundraiser, Art of the Deal. I know many of you have attended it in the past, and it is on November 5th. The theme is Creativity Leads to Invention, and I invite you all to purchase tickets, sponsorships, and you can do all of that right on our website at MountVernon.org. Thanks.
Is there anybody else from the public wish to address the council on any item not on the agenda? So none. Have the approval for tonight's agenda. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Passes. Approval minutes for September 6th, 2016. Move approval.
Second.
All in favor? Parson, any comments, questions, changes? No?
I have one.
Go ahead.
My packet still says draft. Are they still draft?
until you approve them, they're draft.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any passed? Okay, presentations, Okay, so my pleasure to present Ms. Lori Tillett with her certificate of completion at the Advanced Institute of Elected Municipal Officials, and she completed the advanced course. This is your certificate. Thank you very much for taking and improving your.
Thank you very much. Oh, sure. Thank you. I know, I don't wait for my own free. That's right.
Little things will correct.
I don't, no, that's fine, I don't mind that.
She had around the wood frame, she wanted anyway, we're going to start. Last week was not the place we're gonna go. Okay. And there's a presentation by Mrs. Ray Rich on Animal Control Services. Mrs. Rich, the floor is yours.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask Chief of Lady and Animal Control Officer Cindy, if you please. As you all know, 2 years ago when I first became councilwoman, one of my big passions was the trap and release in Eldora. So I'm telling Cindy what I'd like to do, and she's going, yeah, but then I went to the chief and he goes, meow.
Something like that.
Something like that. So it was kind of funny, but I thought, I'm going to make this happen. So I got in touch with Whitney of Leash, and so we had these meetings, and Cindy was starting to come across, and I tell you what, when it started rolling and everything, Cindy was just, she delved right into it with Whitney. They're like best buddies now, and
Paddling buddies.
yeah, and she is the biggest advocate for our trap and release program. So with that, she is getting the first Golden Cat Award. It doesn't stop there. Hold on. To keep you awake at night at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, helping getting those things, there's some coffee from the fair trade. It's against human trafficking and it's organic. And it's a nice little cup. Kitty cup. Okay, and one more thing. Now this is the best part.
I already have a cat.
On behalf of all the little kitties' lives that she has saved, that they weren't born and running around, getting diseases, Cindy's going out there educating.
Ladies.
But from all the kitties in Eldora, here is your kitty cookies.
Thank you very much. I'm thinking, oh no, we're gonna have 100 cats running around the town, I'm gonna be calling.
But tell them what you do, that how you've done with Whitney and what's going on. Just tell them, because they need to know what a great job you do, because I see behind the scenes, but nobody else does.
It's been a great venture, and the program is just amazing because we had nothing, and now we've got an advocate that comes in, and yes, I was skeptical, but it's really brought the community together. It's helped reduce the population. You know, we're learning as we go, but it's been a great program. I don't know the number. We're still trapping. So,
like 3 weeks ago, you got 20 in Gilbert Park. Is what I was told. 20 in Gilbert Park.
yeah, it seems to be a dumping ground down by the area down there, and it's a nice home area, so people think, oh, it's easy to do. But you know, there's been all the ones that the community's pulled together, and they've helped catch, and we're keeping track of them. They're healthier animals now, and I have a foster at home that was one of our kittens that ran into an incident with a bobcat, and Lucky Bob is doing great. He's about 7 weeks old, and he's going to get to go back to his original mommy, which is the Leash Foundation, and they have an adoption event at Pet Supermarket in Leesburg, Pet Smart, like every Saturday. So it's the crazy Angry Kitten Club. But this kitten's just been, was touch and go in the beginning, didn't know if he was going to be sick or make it, but he's doing well, and it's just one of the good stories that seems to come along with all of this, and it's just great to see how people reach out and have helped and contributed.
And you know what's even it's not such a wonderful community. It's team built. It's team. The merchants, and that's why I brought. There's so much money. I had to put in my little Harley Davidson thing here, but almost $800 from the downtown merchants. And Melissa DeMarco of the Mount Dora Citizen donated a $100 gift certificate to Pisces Rising to whoever merchant raised the most. So it was a close call between Hopscott Pet Supplies, and Julianne's Coastal Cottage. Diane of Hopscotch, she would do nail clippings of the parrots and stuff, and that money went to the little fund. Julianne, she would put free water outside her store, a little donation thing, free water if you want to donate. So all in all, it's around $800, which is 20 cats that we can help. But isn't it great?
That's awesome.
What we do. So with that, and also I got a treat for the council. You all get a kitty cookie.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you, past council from last year and council this year, because both of you were instrumental in getting this passed. Not only Mount Dora has it, but we got USIS, we did a challenge, and they did $5,000 too, so that's $10,000 between two cities. So, thank you very much.
Your kitty.
You're just one for the book.
Thank you.
A Halloween costume.
Cookies from La Petite Bakery.
Oh, I love
Okay. Don't take the white one, that's the
There's a story behind that.
There's your white one.
It's a good cat spot.
You're welcome. Oh, I did. All right. Melissa, since you were the nice thing. You need another napkin? Oh, I'm a mess. Thank you. I think I'm good at it.
What'd you say, John?
I'm done.
On to the public hearings and reading the ordinances. And the first one is final reading, ordinance number 2016-3. Mr. Brook, you read the title, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. An ordinance annexing by voluntary petition property generally located at the southeast corner of U.S. Highway 441 and Alameda del Sur, 18200 U.S. Highway 441, Mount Dora, Florida, comprising 5.25 acres more or less, said property being contiguous to the city of Mount Dora and being annexed in accordance with the voluntary annexation provisions of section 171.04 of the statutes. Define the boundaries of the city of Mount Dora to include said property, providing for finding, providing legal description and a map, revising the city council district, directing the city clerk to designate the office ordinance, the clerk of the circuit court, the chief administrative officer of Lake County, and with the Department of State, implementing administrative actions, providing for conflict, severability, non-confrontation, exclude reserves, and setting an effective date. That's everything what I would say.
Thank you. This is our second and final reading on this ordinance. Motion for approval. Second. Any comments, questions from council? Seeing none, anybody from the public wish to address this ordinance? Seeing none, Ms. Jones, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Rolette,
Yes.
Ms. Tillett,
Yes.
Mr. Robson,
Yes.
Mr. Slavy,
Yes.
Ms. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Creel,
Yes.
Mayor Jerome.
Yes. Final reading, ordinance number 2016-09. Mr. Root, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. In ordinance of the city of Mount Dora, Lake County, Florida, amending the future land use map series of the city of Mount Dora comprehensive plan by applying the future land use designation of commercial to a 5.25 acre parcel generally at the southeast corner of US Highway 441 and Alameda Del Sur site address 18200 US Highway 441. Implement administrative actions, provide for conflicts, severability, non-conflict, includers errors, and setting of effective date. That's the ordinance by title only.
Thank you. And again, this is our second final reading of this ordinance. Can I have a motion for approval? Ordinance 2016. Second. Any comments, questions from council? Seeing none, again, the public, anybody from the public wish to address this ordinance? Seeing none. Ms. Jones, roll call please.
Mr. Robson,
Yes.
Mr. Rolette,
Yes.
Mr. Creel,
Yes.
Ms. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Slavy,
Yes.
Ms. Tillett,
Yes.
Mayor Jerome.
Yes. And final reading of ordinance number 2016-10. Mr. Root, title please.
Mr. Mayor, ordinance of the city of Mount Dora, Lake County, Florida, assigning the C3 highway commercial zoning classification to property located at the southeast corner of US Highway 441 and Alameda Del Sur, site address 18200 US Highway 441, comprising 5.25 acres, providing that the official zoning map be modified accordingly, implementing administrative actions, providing for conflicts, severability, non-conflict, excluders errors, and setting of effective date. This ordinance by title only.
Thank you. Again, this is second final reading of this ordinance, and can I have a motion for approval? Second. And, anybody, other comments, questions from council? Seeing none, public, have any comments? Seeing none again, Ms. Jones, can we have the roll call vote, please?
Mr. Creel,
Yes.
Mr. Rolette,
Yes.
Ms. Rich, Mr. Robson,
Yes.
Mr. Slavy,
Yes.
Ms. Tillett,
Yes.
Mayor Jerome.
Yes. That's some resolutions, resolution number 2016.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Approval resolution number 2016-41, Mr. Root, can you file please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Dora, Florida, amending the city budget for fiscal year ending September 30, 2017, for the general fund, the Parks Impact Fund, and the discretionary sales tax fund. With regard to the City of Mount Dora, including revenues and expenditures, providing for legislative and administrative findings, providing for delegation of chief designating actions by the city manager, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for trigger errors, and providing for the effective date. That's the resolution by title only.
Thank you. Proceed.
Mr. Mayor. This is a budget amendment request for turn forward funds, representing the Parks Impact Fund and Discretion Funds. The $83,333 represents what we originally represented as an amount that we would carry forward from the other general government fund. $50,000 from the carry forward from 2015-16, and then unassigned amounts of $66,667.
Have a motion for approval. Move to approve.
Second.
Any comments, questions on this? Anybody from the public wish to address this issue? Seeing none, back to the council.
This is just a routine transfer.
This is right, this is the for the annual vote record, and then we'll put the money in the budget now. Thank you. Ms. Jones, can you roll call please?
Mr. Rolette,
Yes.
Ms. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Creel,
Yes.
Mr. Robson,
Yes.
Mr. Slavy,
Yes.
Ms. Tillett,
Yes.
Mayor Jerome.
Yes. Approval resolution 2016-42, temporary extension of noise ordinance for the fireworks display, consent.
Yes,
What's it? Mr. Woods, read the title, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Dora, Florida, approving the temporary extension of the Code of Ordinance of Noise Ordinance, section 46.120, from 11 p.m. to 12:15 a.m., providing for the use of fireworks display to accompany a New Year's Eve block party to be held in the pedestrian mall in Sunset Park, authorizing closure of the 4th Avenue dock for launching fireworks, providing for the adoption of recitals and findings, providing for implementing administrative actions, and providing for conflicts, the correction of scrivener's errors, severability, and an effective date. That's the resolution by title.
Thank you. Proceed.
Yes, Mayor and Council. Noise ordinance, 46.120, we're requesting to change the time from 11 to 12:15 on New Year's Eve within the pedestrian mall, and also closing the 4th Avenue dock. This is a standard process which we go through each year, my understanding, when we have this event.
Have a motion for approval? Move to approve. Second. Any questions from the city council on this?
I have one, as we notify the lakeside inn, the resolution.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any other? Anybody from the public wish to address this issue? Seeing none? Anybody else from council? Sharon, roll call, please.
Mr. Rolette,
Yes.
Mr. Creel,
Yes.
Ms. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Lawson,
Yes.
Mr. Slavy,
Yes.
Ms. Tillett,
Yes.
Mayor Jerome.
Yes. Approval of resolution 2016-43, exceptions for the 2016 Christmas ball special event. Mr. Root, you read the title, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Dora, Florida, approving applications of the 2016 Christmas Walk event to include closing of Baker Street for 5th and 6th Avenues, Dowling Street for 5th and 6th Avenues, and to authorize closure of the 4th Avenue docks for the launching of fireworks, providing for the adoption of assignments and findings, providing for implementing administrative actions, and providing for conflicts and corrections, scrivener's error, severability, and effective. That's the resolution by title.
Thank you. Mrs. Hayes?
Yes, these are the necessary road closures required for the event to occur. Road closures for Baker Street between 5th and 6th Avenues, and between 5th and 6th Avenues to ensure public safety. The Rusty Anchor has been notified of the dock closure for that day, and we entertain any other questions you might have.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, questions on this? Mrs. Cobb?
Yes. I don't have any questions, but I do have a comment, and that is that I'm delighted that we're going to have additional wine and beer by different vendors. So we've expanded the number of vendors that will be sort of spreading the wealth a little bit, and I think that'll be great. So kudos to the organizers.
Assuming it's a no-brainer, so the police chief is going to come in street closure issue.
He will be involved in the process. This is, again, the process by Parks and Rec when they bring in the police and fire, and they're involved in the entire process.
Thank you.
You don't think the restaurants that serve beer and wine, them are gonna get upset? I'm just curious.
Well, I believe that they have beer and wine served every year in the past. Is that correct? I'm looking at Chris. Can you address that?
Sure.
For the record, Chris Carson, Special Events Coordinator for City of Mount Dora. The two areas that were highlighted, Councilman Rich, are within beer garden. So they are limited enclosed areas. So that really, it doesn't compete with any of the near restaurants and whatnot. Obviously, prices rising is adjacent to the pedestrian walkway, therefore they would compete with themselves, as well as the Natural Meat Boutique goes here with the Endowment Park, which has no other.
It's great.
So, we're very excited. Rob English has been a great partner with the Chamber of Commerce to put this event together. I expect to see your best Christmas welcome.
I only have one other comment, and I read here that a post-event meeting was not necessary because there were no issues to report on. I think it's always a good idea to have an after-action report, even if everything is positive, so that we learn whether we continue, to improve on the process. So it's just a suggestion. It was just my comment that I think it would be good to have an after-action report for every event that the city does. Just, good, bad, things that need to be fixed, things that need to be improved, things that we're doing 5-star and keeping up, so that we know, what works and what doesn't.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Anybody from the public wishes to address this issue? Seeing none, you hear from council? Ms. Jones, can I have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Rich?
Yes.
Mr. Slavy?
Yes.
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Rolette?
Yes.
Mayor Jerome?
Yes. Approve resolution 2016-44, respond to police services software contract. Do we have the title read, Mr. Booth?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The resolution of the City of Mount Dora, Florida, authorizing the execution of the Sterling Technologies Inc. contract for the purchase of police services software, approving the form as well as providing for other administrative actions and approvals, providing for delegation for the mayor to sign, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date and further described how.
Thank you. Mrs. Hayes?
Yes, Mayor, on June 23rd, the City Council approved the purchase of the public safety software with Spelman Technologies. And we're simply bringing back a contract that has been negotiated, in which the fees have also changed and renegotiated that. So we're actually requesting that you execute the contract with Spelman so that we can proceed to procure and implement the process.
Can I have a motion for approval? Second.
Move the resolution 2016-44.
Second. Any comments from the council? Anyone from the public wish to address this issue? Seeing none? Instructions, please.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Rolette?
Yes.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Ms. Rich? Mr. Slavy?
Yes.
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mayor Jerome?
Yes.
Approve resolution 2016-45, 2016 Scottish Highland Festival. And Mr. Reed, would you please read the title?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Dora, Florida, approving the application for the 2016 Mount Dora Scottish Highland Festival, requesting to close Edgerton Court and allow for the use of Evans Park, to allow for street closures, to allow an exception to the Code of Ordinances, section 74.295, which requires special permission for the allowance of dogs at special events, and to allow an exception to the Code of Ordinances, section 82.210, plan C, in order to allow overnight parking for reenactment groups, provide for the adoption of disciples and findings, provide for implementing administrative actions, provide for conflicts and correctional scrivener's errors, severability, and an effective date. That's the resolution by title.
Thank you. Mrs. Hayes?
Yes, recommend the approval of the 2016 Mount Dora Scottish Highland and Night for the South concert event as a city-sponsored event. We also have Pisces Rising providing for the required state licensing for the sale of alcohol as well as magical music. Boutique also part of that requirement on state licensing, insurance, and alcohol sales. Staff recommends a closure on Friday, November 18th, and 2 street closures on Saturday the 19th to establish the event area that we require. Also posting of police officers, which that has been coordinated. And then staff will coordinate the scheduling of those officers as an overnight stay at Gilbert Park on Friday the 18th to monitor Friday's setup.
Have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any comments, questions from the council? Mrs. Tillett?
The overnight parking, does that involve RVs that will be, using generators or mobile home things that will there be any noise generated where the people in the condos there or over in the apartments on the other side of Gilbert Park would, be impacted?
No, ma'am. What that's about is, when we enact a group, they come out, literally set up a camp.
Okay.
Area, and they bring their own vehicles and trucks and stuff in, and they literally camp in the tents.
Oh, gotcha.
And, and by ordinance, we ask for approval.
That's fine.
Are you camping there too?
You don't know. Beaches?
Yeah.
Is that for the Scottish outfit? That's all. Okay, any other comments from council? Seeing none, anybody from the public wish to address this issue? Seeing none, Mrs. Browns, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mr. Slavy?
Yes.
Ms. Rich?
Yes.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Rolette?
Yes.
Mayor Jerome?
Yes. Approve of resolution 2016-46, easement request from Lake County for the relocation of 5 land used in the Peter Parkway. Mr. Green, would you please read the title?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, a resolution of the city of Mount Dora, Florida, approving the grant of a 6-foot easement to Lake County for the relocation of the fiber optic line to wastewater treatment plant number 2. Providing for the adoption of recital and finding, authorizing them to execute certain easement documents and purchase, providing for implementing administrative actions, providing for savings, prevention of conflicts, correction of sugar reserves, severability, and an effective date. That's the resolution by title.
Thank you. Mrs. Hayes?
Yes, recommend the city council grant a 6-foot easement to Lake County for the relocation of the fiber optic line that currently runs to the radio tower at wastewater treatment plant 2. The easement between the city of Mount Dora and Lake County needs to be approved by the council so that Lake County will release the existing easement of the fiber optics back to the city.
Thank you. Can I motion for approval? So moved. Second. Any comments for council, questions?
I have one, picking up this property, we'll say, for an easement, will that jeopardize anything that we might need to follow that easement?
Turn to Mr. Peters, would you come up and answer that?
John Peters, Public Works Director. No, it would not jeopardize anything that was part of our negotiation with the longer location. And also, it's only 6 foot. I was rather surprised. I didn't ask if they wanted more, but they only need 6 feet. Thank you.
Anything else?
I would call this a routine necessity. There's something official to do.
Anybody from the public wish to address the council on this issue? Seeing none, any other comments from the council? Ms. Jones, will call roll, please.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Robson?
Yes.
Ms. Rich?
Yes.
Mr. Slavy?
Yes.
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mr. Willett?
Yes.
Mayor Jerome?
Yes. In the new business, we have an approval of amendment to the traffic pass signal maintenance and compensation agreement with the Florida Department of Transportation. Mrs. Hayes?
Yes, this is a request for approval to amend the traffic signal maintenance compensation agreement between the City of Mount Dora and MDOT. This is for routine maintenance. This is for 6 traffic signals on State Highway 500 and US 441 located within the city limits. And the FDOT has assigned approximately $3,000 to each of the signals, and that's a standard cost, a reduction from past years of just over $4,000. It is a standard process.
Have a motion for approval?
Move to approve.
Second. Any comments, questions? Mrs. Stone?
Yeah, just one quick question. Does this cover our whole cost for each of these signals? Just out of curiosity. It's not a cost sharing type of arrangement like we're doing with the.
John Peters, Public Works Director. This is a pass through to the county. County does maintenance, and we get passed about straight through to 100%.
I thought they were compensating us. We're
The DOT is compensating us, and then we pay Lake County.
Gotcha.
Any other questions? Anybody from the public wish to address this issue? Seeing none, Mrs. Jones, may I roll call roll?
Mr. Willett?
Yes.
Mr. Robson?
Yes.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Ms. Rich?
Yes.
Mr. Slavy?
Yes.
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mayor Jerome?
Yes. Approval of section 2 is approval of the August services for inventory of street and public property trees and other tree services. RFQ 16-11-002 Rankin Farms. And have
Yes, this is a city council request to approve the Rankin Firms authorizing staff to begin negotiation as a scope of service with E-Sciences, number 1 rank. The State Forestry Department awarded a grant to the City of Mount Dora in 15-16, and the grant stipulated funds to be spent within 2 fiscal years. Those funds will be carried forward into 16-17, and if this is approved, those funds will be expended toward this process. This is to have the arborists provide an inventory of streets and public property trees and other trees as specified in the scope of services.
I would approve the ranking as recommended.
Second.
any questions from council?
And I noticed here in the three bidders that obviously East Sciences was the only one among the three that qualified in all areas. And so it's certainly logical that the choices that were made in terms of the ranking seem very logical to me. I'm also really pleased to see an outside firm do this as an independent view of the city, and certainly without this map, and so to speak, this roadmap of our trees, we're really blindly moving ahead. So it's a great beginning, and I'm looking forward to seeing that inventory occur. I think it'll be a great beginning to get a handle on where we're at. So I'm certainly happy to see this come forward. Thank you.
I have, your move was to approve the ranking. Do we also have to move to authorize staff to start the negotiations, or is that implied?
Not at this time.
Okay.
I'll bring that back to you.
Okay.
Thank you. I had a couple of questions. First one was, and I want to make sure it's clear, on this assessment, will it also show on the mapping the spots where there are no trees and suggesting spots where they could go?
Mr. Peters?
John Peters, Public Works Director. The way this would work, if we would get an inventory that is put on a map as part of GIS, and we would be able to look at the map, see where there's vacancies that could be filled in. We would be working with this firm with a comprehensive tree program also. And I would fully expect that they will come back with recommendations of the appropriate trees to fill in gaps.
Question. When will this occur? Or when can we expect to see it back? So, as the old adage goes, when's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago is the answer. So, there's no times specified here, so that would be a concern. I don't know how long it takes, but I'm thinking, well, I don't know when it gets.
We can bring back an update to you in about 3 months and give you an idea of where we're at in the process, and at that point in time give you a timeline, so we can work with the consultant on that type of process.
On the same note about trees, real quick, I just want to make a comment. Mr. Carson and myself went over to Montessori School this past week and met with a group of young children who want to start a little project. They want to start planting some old plots of ground in some of our city properties so they can maintain. They want to plant, what is that, 100 trees, something like that, seedlings. 45, I'm sorry, it's 45 trees. It might be just the one spot we might need for it. And we want to, Mr. Carson, look for an area, listening, we're going to get back with the kids and let them, what we're going to do, we're starting the trees from the acorns, and we're going to raise the trees. Now, it's going to take a while, but I'm going to be around a while to watch these things grow. So, but they're going to bring the trees up to a certain height. They're going to tend to the trees. And doing that, the city's just going to help them out with the rain and kind of mark it off so we don't accidentally mow them down, things like that. And I think it was a really great project, and they were able to do with the kids. And it was really nice to get the calls from the children over there to meet with them. It was really neat. Went to a conference room, sat down with them. We wanted to go to the last thing we knew, they were back up. And she went to the little group, and we were ready, and had other people. Chris and I went in there and we just committed to a little space in Lansing where Chris will find out somewhere. And one of the parks, and probably more like over 40s, I would think the 40s park would be a great location, nice and open. And we're going to end up planting the trees and let them grow and water them. And when you get this big around, things that are indicated is that they're going to find permanent locations all around the city. And so hopefully we'll see it spread out to the tree farm.
I don't know how long it takes to grow.
No, they didn't want to ask that. Yes, I would have to assume that probably at least, if anybody wants to venture a guess, I would say probably 3 years or so to get them to maybe all that size.
They'll be checking in on their high school botany projects.
I'm not any of us should be questioning, but the gift that those kids are not giving.
No, I think that's quite something. It's a
It's really
wonderful
great, it's a great little project, and I was so proud to be called in, and I called Kristen on that too, so to help out with the education, finding education, so so thank you, Chris, for your time on going on. Okay, any other comments from the council? Anybody from the public wish to address this issue? Good night, we have a call, please.
Mr. Robson?
Yes.
Ms. Rich?
Yes.
Mr. Slavy?
Yes.
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Roulette?
Yes.
Mayor Jerome?
Yes. Approval of professional consult services for future building construction design, public works, fire station central, and relief services, RFQ 16-11-003, ranking of firms. Ms. Hayes?
Yes, staff is just requesting council approve the ranking of the firms, and for continuing architectural services with Bentley Architects, Architects Design Group, Strollo Architects, Notes, Creedmoor Fowler, and Powell Studio. We are preparing for the future and looking at the buildings that we will be looking at funding and building as far as the public works facility, the new fire station, adaptive storage, and some maintenance, whether it's HVAC, electrical, plumbing, security. Putting this in place allows us to proceed as time passes to go ahead and look at the scope individually for each of those projects, and that's what this is doing. It sets us up similar to a CCNA, establishing the architectural firm that will handle those buildings.
Any motion for approval?
Move to approve.
Second. Any questions, comments for council?
Okay, in the services, do they provide architectural services for renovation of existing buildings, or is it only new construction?
I will have to ask Mr. Peters, Mr. Stevens.
John Peters, Public Works Director, in the package that was submitted specifically to Bentley and Associates, they did the design work on the renovation for the City Hall Annex and Altamont Springs, which is a very difficult project, but they worked on those buildings, so they have done a number of renovation projects.
Any other questions? Any public wish to have any questions on this issue? Seeing none, we have roll call vote, please.
Excuse me, I just want to comment, I just want to follow up on that, to just say, new means different things to different people. To me, new means, new to me. I'm not, yet saying that we have to have a brand new public services building. We just need to have a new to us facility, and if it's fiscally responsible, and we reuse another building somewhere, I'm all for that. If it makes sense. I think, I couldn't disagree with that. I think that's up to management and those that provide those management directions to us to really give us that advice. They're certainly smarter people than I am, and I look for their recommendations one way or the other. But I think this is a broad-based, allows us to do anything. We're just ranking these firms, and then management will come back to us and tell us, so this is for new, and this is for renovation. Right, and I agree with that. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't somehow forcing that it had to absolutely be privacy.
Anybody from the public wish to address this issue? Seeing none, any other questions for council? Ms. Jones?
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mr. Robson?
Yes.
Mr. Slavy?
Yes.
Ms. Rich?
Yes.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Roulette?
Yes.
Mayor Jerome?
Yes. Approval of the consultant contract with VASH for assistance in preparing the state revolving fund loan application for the integrated term regulation. Ms. Hayes?
Yes, this is approval for request for city council to approve, scope of services in the amount of $42,900 to VASH for consultant services related to obtaining loans from the SRF program for the proposed utility lines along Wolf Branch Road and Round Lake Road. As part of the study with PRMG, They suggested that we consider going to the state for a state revolving financing, possibly looking at lower interest rates, somewhere between 1.8 to 3%. And by completing a separate loan application for the Wolf Branch Blue, the city of Mount Dora does not have to carry the cost of the loan for the work that will not be constructed until the future. That's a benefit to us. And demand for the utilities as part of the specific development project, since that will again be determined in the near future. So it allows us just to hold on to the funding at the point in time in the coffer, so to speak, as far as the city funds, and look to the state to give us those monies.
Have a motion for approval? Move to approve. Second.
At the same time.
Okay, any comments, questions from council?
It's a good plan ahead and, the process to include the new interest rates.
Short term, long term.
It makes the electrical management system.
Anybody from the public wish to address this issue? Anybody else, council again? Ms. Jones, we have the public first.
Mr. Willett,
Yes.
Mr. Crown,
Yes.
Ms. Rich.
Yes.
Mr. Robson,
Yes.
Mr. Slavy,
Yes.
Ms. Tillett,
Yes.
Mayor Jerome.
Yes. Number 5, approval of consult contract with Bashford Systems of preparing state revolving fund loan application for State Route 46, 44, Round Lake Road, south of 46, Brick Road, and Lucasville 41. Estates.
Yes, sir. This is also a city council request to approve the scope of services similar to the one we just spoke of, in reference to a state revolving fund, SRF funds. Again, for some of the projects that will be likely constructed in the much later future, much later in the year or in next years, and determine that the city would best be served financially to negotiate these services with the state.
Have a motion for approval? So moved. Second. Any questions, comments from council? Seeing none. If the public wish to address this issue, seeing none. Mr. Jones, roll call please.
Mr. Robson,
Yes.
Mr. Willett,
Yes.
Mr. Crown,
Yes.
Ms. Rich.
Yes.
Mr. Slavy,
Yes.
Ms. Tillett,
Yes.
Mayor Jerome.
Yes. Number 6, approval of the scope of services for engineering contract with Bashford Utilities Design with 2, 3, and 3B. Mrs. Hayes, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. Recommend City Council approve the agreement with both, in the amount of $246,420 for the redesign of utilities for the Wakaiba 3A and 3B. The entire cost of the design will be borne by the FDOT, and outlined as part of the agreement that is part of this attachment with the FDOT. And this, the easements between FDOT and the city of Mount Dora, Wakaiba 3 and 3B, FDOT has agreed to reimburse the city Mount Dora for the full cost of the redesign, and this is just indicates the agreement between FDOT and the city showing that full-fledged.
Can I get a motion for approval?
Move to approve, second.
Any comments, questions from council?
We approved this previously, and as of the on, and it's logical business. And nothing better than reimbursement. It's even better.
Any other comments? And now you may from the public wish to address this issue. Seeing none, any other from council? Roll call please.
Mr. Willett,
Yes.
Mr. Robson,
Yes.
Mr. Slavy,
Yes.
Ms. Tillett,
Yes.
Mr. Crown,
Yes.
Ms. Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Jerome.
Yes. Okay.
Council passes tonight. Join the bill.
That's cookies.
I think there's a cookies.
City attorney update. Mr. Green.
Nothing but the good in the order, except I was going to say exactly that thing. Any meeting where there's candy or cookies passed out.
Thank you, Ms. Rich, for that.
Love the tea bakery.
City manager update.
Yes, quickly, we are watching the storm, and we may have an update. Tomorrow we have an EOC meeting again after 2 o'clock, and make decisions and determinations on the city support, in reference to any type of work that may need to be needed, as far as having our employees deployed, at the local church which we will reside for at EOC. as well as any other facility closures that we might have to look at for Friday possibly. So we are in the middle of reviewing those processes as required by EFC and state and the county, Lake County, requirements. So we're working with the fire chief on that. Yes, sir.
City council comments? Mr. Rich?
Is everything going to the police night out at Target tonight?
There's time now.
That's what I'm saying, let's get that one.
I think there's an underlying reason why this meeting was done.
Yes. I'm gonna get out there.
Okay, you really have time. And, any other comments, Mr. Rich? Mr. Wilson?
Just a reminder, I'm not a member of the Hawn Bowling Club, but they're having a big bash, hot dog party, training sessions, etc. Tomorrow. I believe it starts tomorrow. Yes, it does. And so just if anyone has an interest, I told them when I was given a tour that I would certainly announce that publicly. And so you can contact them and you'll see that. The other question is, there are times on this agreement, the rest of the council, when Florida League of Cities has various conferences. I am on one of the policy committees for the league. That's the urban administration policy, the drafts legislation, or recommends legislative issues of the city. So we have a little quiet in the room, please. So I attended that, thank you, I attended that, past week. Was very, very, well attended, and anybody that was on the policy committee, there were 6 of them, I believe, 5 or 6, was there. I have given the reports that I was given to our manager, and, I know she will study them. I'll certainly give a later report to the council when, some of the next meetings, that I will attend in October. It's really everything that is done by these policy committees will directly affect cities, all cities in Florida. And there are some efforts by the legislature to take away some of our home rule rights, and so we have to carefully attend those for the sake of all of us here, our residents as well as the council, and those that work hard to keep our home rule city the way it is. So I want to just let you know that that's pending. I'll certainly let you know if that goes on. Interest to me as well. The other thing is, there was, I would like to have attended, but there was even, I think, Lake County League of Cities in Matilda. I know you were there, and we had some empty tables, so whenever those things occur, I certainly encourage. Maybe I missed the dates on that, and you could have attended, but it would be nice to have as many people attend those as possible. So I just suggest that to management and vice mayor and everybody else. That when those are around that you can attend, they're very, very educational. There's a lot of networking that goes on. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Yes, I have a few items, but very quick. So anyway, a couple things. When we talk about the trees, I just want to remind the council our earlier conversations about possible tree committee, and then our actions on it, getting trees planted. We hope sometime before Arbor Day, Florida Arbor Day, that we can maybe get this on the agenda and discuss a little bit more, get it on the So, and then the other thing, two things. One, I want to welcome our new city manager. I had the pleasure of meeting with her last week, and I enjoyed it, and look forward to much success for you in the city. Let's see, things I want to shout out to Councilman Rich. I sincerely enjoyed your presentation tonight, and I saw your passion for your endeavor, and I applaud you for it. So I thought it was great.
I have nothing.
Well, anything but that, I can do your saying. Okay, I had a little chat with Mr. Steiner, our public works for the county, and he's not really head on, but he is not having any, his contractors aren't giving him anything specific. I'm going to have, he said he would come to the council meeting. It's kind of late to address, you know, haven't come to this one, but next council meeting, we'll have him come and address the council and find out exactly when this thing's going to, we have a contract with the county. We have that in place with them. The question right now is when a contractor is going to be available to come and do the work. And, let's see, March 8th. He's in contact with you if you would, if you have something new in that, right ahead.
We just received an email today.
Right.
That's been your metal towers that work. They basically have asked us, if you remember, they originally said they could not do the work at night. Their contractor is requesting they work at night, which is good news. They specifically requesting dates from us because they know we're now into our event season. And so they're asking us for, they want to work Sunday night to Thursday night, on a week-to-week basis. And so I've sent an email out to Rick Carson in the events area, the police chief, and his saying, you know, they asked them to provide some input as to the first dates. And I will get back to the county and make that happen.
So your hands then, great, thank you very much, that's good news, I'm glad to hear that. Anything will happen? I'm a believer. And the festivals are over Sunday afternoon, so after the festival,
Get ready for the next one.
And the only thing I just want to mention, next week, this coming Saturday, I'm going to be leaving for Kentucky. I'm going to be doing a little urban tour in Kentucky, and we're going to see some of the distilleries in Kentucky. And one of it's going to be my birthday present this year, so if I'm on my, that's my birthday present. And so anyway, and then as far as Mr. Willett, he's the vice mayor, you're going to be on the consulting gig, right? So anyway, I'll be available by phone if you need anything about anything. Signatures need to be signed at that point. I'll be recording the picture that's not here.
Samples for the audience?
I was thinking maybe we could do some kind of a tasting thing, you know, where $35 a person or something. We can raise some money for that.
Yeah, we want presents.
Hey, I'm not necessarily, I'm not going to visit Richard. I'm just giving a huge chance to work.
I want some
Anyway, just want to check in.
Urban cookies, urban cookies, urban folks, so council meeting.
I have one other, in the packet, at least maybe that was amended out at the last one, we had a copy of the parking study. And we've been visiting a little bit about that tonight. Okay, very good. Very good.
The next part of this tonight's agenda, yes. It's on its own agenda. Just to let Councilman.
Do we need to adjourn this meeting and leave this area? And do we adjourn?
Second.
Okay, we'll adjourn this meeting and any other one then?
That's okay, sir.
This is open up the meeting, call the community meeting on the agency board, and it's 7 o'clock, and we're going to be to our board meetings, downtown parking study update.
Yes, thank you. Vince is here to present to you the summary of the parking study, so I'd like to extend it to him. This has, the study is presented to you. The Community Redevelopment Agency Advisory Committee is actually recommending the study, and he has the particulars on the study.
Good evening, thank you, Ms.
Vince Sanderson, Planning and Development Department, and actually a lot of the work, with kudos to our CRA advisory committee. Angus Baker for years delved into the details, the research, the partner studies, so a lot of effort was made on that committee's part, and that should not go unnoticed. As noted, they recommended approval. They had a couple of comments at the August meeting. We followed up on September 14th, and we recommended accepting the downtown parking study. No news. We need to work on some strategies. It's not a big project on it. It's working multiple solutions. We've kind of noted in our summary, some of the parking is lagging downtown. There's more space than needed. There is a gap. With the new restaurants coming on board and so forth, working strategies, we can find some solutions. The parking study is comprehensive. We talk about all of the issues from signage to lighting, pedestrian safety, looking at surface parking, the whole aspect of strategizing really the downtown. So it's really looking at the core area, maybe expanding out to encourage some different projects and bring forward to you here in the near future, budgets and things like that, where we can work out the project solutions. What I have in front of you is the summary report. It's part of your, part of the CRA board redevelopment plan of 2012 for all objectives and policies which address parking needs and how to establish solutions. I don't want to go into the details of the whole report you have in front of you. We sent it out earlier. It is on our website. Those who would like to peruse through. Just basically, just to start hitting the short-term solutions on page 2. We think we can address here immediately. And you can move some of the strategies differently. This is the way we were looking at it for budget constraints and how we can approach it cost benefit wise and so forth. So there's a way to clarify the way, finding signage, establish time limits. That would be more of a tiered approach. There's some concepts of maybe a tour, restrictor, go one more block out, 4 hours, the next one street, really easy walk, free. So we're trying to establish some behavioral patterns, maybe that's something to talk about, or how we can use this signage. I know we have time limits down now, they're not being enforced, so maybe we can talk about how to talk about enforcement a little more, and maybe there's some technology out there that we can impose. There's some, instead of the chalk days on tires, so we can encourage people to use the limits. There's some technology that send it right to the police and they can look at it on a gizmo. And maybe they can send an alert while they're at one of the restaurants to say you need to adjust your car position thing. So there's some nice strategy, high technology that we can focus on. There's the valet parking, real easy. There's some other transportation which we do with the bicycles and other walking and so forth. We want to enhance our fringe parking areas, and again the parking regulations I mentioned. And then we'll be talking about the loading and unloading in trucks, and maybe working with those folks a little better. Time limits on those, how to address the loading and deliveries a little better, and not impacting the streets. So there's some signage, communication, maybe to work on. Just right outside City Hall, there's a sign that says parking, but I don't know where to go. So there's some easy solutions that I think we can fix. Like I said, this is a multi-faceted strategy approach. Then we can start working 2 to 3 years from now, pursue partnerships with the downtown core area with other lots, work with the CRA board if we want to start improving some lots. Maybe we could do partnerships with some of the churches and some of the lots that are nearby. We start encouraging their surface, make them friendly, make them light, make them easy access, things like that. There could be a point to talk about if we don't have meters or pay. That really was not looked upon favorably, but I've been to cities where it's an app, and you download the app and you put your parking section in and it charges you immediately an hour or something. And then it alerts you on your phone when your time is coming up. I haven't heard that as something that's being motivated strategy for the downtown, but it could be up for discussion. Then the last thing is budget for capital improvement projects. We'll start talking about the bigger ones, maybe looking at on islands and more surface area partnerships, looking at parking garage improvements and so long term. That should probably fix the volume of cars. This report was in cooperation with Renaissance Plan. They helped immensely in putting the data analysis together that our previous management and the CRA board gathered. So this was a great report with some nice solutions, and we're welcome any additional comments this board may have, and or any changes you'd like to see.
Thank you. I too want to echo Mr. Sanderson's credits and kudos to the CRA board. They pushed this hard, they pushed its completion, and I think they are underappreciated in terms of this issue at least. Also, I read every word of this parking study, 30 pages or so, whatever it is, and it is a wonderful analysis of options that we have. We can't, if we all pulled each one of us in council, we would have seven different opinions. I want this, no, I don't want that. So my thought is, I don't know if the council needs to accept it or approve the acceptance by the CRA board, or it's just for information at this time for us to look at. It seems to me the CRA board, working with Mr. Sanderson, our city manager, I'm waiting for them to, as managers, to come up with recommendations for us as a council, and most of what they might suggest, I think, may not even be policy issues, but will be management issues. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a wonderful beginning to solve this parking problem that's been looming for everyone, it seems. So I'm very pleased with it. I don't know where our approach is tonight, other than to thankfully receive it and read it, and everybody read it and analyze it for some future meeting. Thank you.
Okay, I don't mean to be a naysayer, but last year, we're going through the same thing. In fact, we had a really good study in the community building, where we had a vision, good for the community. We set tables and we mark things what we need to do, and it's the same thing. So we keep doing this over and over and over and over and over and over. It would really do something. I mean, I've been hearing this last year, I've heard it years before when I was on the CLA. So, yeah, it's great, but it's the same thing.
The thing that was, was this part of this is all part of this Renaissance project.
That is correct, Mayor. Unfortunately, this has been a long project, so it is Groundhog Day, and it is coming up. And the solutions are obvious. We've talked about some of the easy solutions here. Now it's really gratifying. We thought the best approach was to put it in a report.
I'll even talk to the churches, and I hear about the churches again. And there's always this contention, and I'm just like, I know everyone's time is valuable, and this study is great, but it's the same study that I looked at a year ago.
And staff would recommend the acceptance of the report and then bring back the implementations of the projects if that's appropriate, or if we would need more time, that's
I'm ready to accept the report because it's, as Ms. Rich says, it's been around a while, and very little is going to change here, and it can, and I think we should accept it and do management to work on this ASAP and then those recommendations and implement those that can be implemented immediately or quickly, and also give us timelines on the midterm and the long term. A lot of it's budget issues, and that much of it is money, and that's obviously an exclusive policy issue for this council. So I think we should move forward and accept it, and the staff can move forward.
We need some action, obviously, we're talking about it. And the partnering, I don't understand why that hasn't already taken place. They offer it to us, and why haven't they come back and say yes or no, and why the has to be
Another thing, it's been discussed back and forth over the past couple of years about the pedestrian mall. That really isn't utilized as much as it could be as a pedestrian mall. And going way back, when I first got on council, I took pictures. This is to the living from the pedestrian mall. We can lower and raise the balance as needed for special events, not a problem. But the utilization of that, and then these two pictures, in Melissa County encounters 11 vehicles, like car truck pickups, a tour bus down there where the horse and buggy used to park, and 2 motorcycles. All gone. For a pedestrian mall that might give you, put down any time so you find 5 people. Other than a special event, yes, we will close it off like we do in the street. But that right there, 11 vehicles, a tour bus, and 3 motorcycles. That's a lot right there. And it's not taken away as a pedestrian mall, we'll just use it as a pedestrian mall as needed.
Can do that, when things go downhill. Actually, I thought that's what it was supposed to do.
So,
I didn't know it's closed all the time.
It is, it's closed all the time.
Well, let's just open it up. There's a good solution right there.
And it's right there with a lot of restaurants. Mr. Grant?
I have been to a lot of meetings and back to Envision Mount Dora and the same table exercises and so on. I understand the frustration, but I was very happy when Ms. Hayes and I were talking about this the other day, to hear her say that there are a number of these things, especially in the short-term recommendations, that we can get going in weeks or just a couple of months. I'm thrilled about that. These are common sense sort of things. I don't think anybody expected that there was one grand solution. It's a little of this and a little of that, and a couple spaces here and so on and so forth. So we have this. I certainly agree that we need to endorse it, but I have every confidence that staff is ready, willing, and able to tackle these and come back in pretty short order with a plan and timeline and all that sort of stuff. I'm excited about that. Thank you.
Ms. Kelly?
Yeah, me too. I think it's a well done document. I would encourage us to look more carefully at moving at least a trial of shuttle services into the short term from the midterm. I've been down to Stewart, the city of Stewart. It works beautifully. People love it. It provides part-time employment for the city pays for it. They got a 3-year grant from the FDOT to increase the number of shuttles that they have, and also to pay for the drivers over a 3-year period, which enabled them to budget money over a long-term increase in cost to actually maintain it. But it's great. Now, it's not obviously the only solution that they have. They have satellite parking. They have great signage that points people to these satellite outskirt areas with arrows and the number of parking places that are available at each of these locations, so that for example, if you're going there where there's a big event downtown, you might want to go to one of the even further out lots, because that there'll be more spaces there. Whatever. I mean, this is all detail, but I would just encourage looking at that in the short term, not waiting 2 years. My only other comment is that in the cover memo here, it says that primarily the benefit of any program or project can be measured by the increase in available parking spaces it creates in the core for customers. And I guess I would modify that slightly to say that the benefit would be measured by the number of additional people that can access not only the downtown but the other areas which are, being connected. I think that we need to, as well as looking at increasing access to the downtown, we need to look towards increasing human access to the Highland Street area, and at least in the near term, that would be transportation as an economic engine. So if you have easy transportation between areas, you naturally occur economic development in those areas along the route. And then also look eventually to the Golden Triangle area, maybe even up into the Grandview Street commercial area. So all of that kind of thing, I would just encourage to sort of keep it in the back of our minds as we do that. And other than that, I'm really looking forward to, in the next couple of meetings, seeing an implementation plan. Like we can do this month, next month we can do this, it'll take us 6 months to get our act together and do this, and just keep on moving. Otherwise, really good job on you.
Yeah, over in St. Augustine, my husband and I go there all the time. They have these parking things where you go with your credit card and you have up to 3 hours. Those things are fabulous, and they control you. It's revenue. Yeah, it's revenue. And so, and they don't look that ugly. They're just, you go in and you can put either coinage in, but it's up to 3 hours. And you put that, and you put the little tag in your dashboard, and then you come back. It's brilliant.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. No, but I'll get the name of that.
I'm familiar with their program. It's free on Sunday, by the way.
Yeah, free on Sunday, but maybe we won't make ours free on Sunday because it's busy then, but I tell you what, it's very convenient, even in big parking lots, they have them, and it works out really well, and their traffic flow is great, so I would really like to see that.
As I suspected, we have 7 ideas, and that's wonderful. I took to the people who are but we need to rely, in my view, on management to flush this out and give us recommendations to the people as tell us that, which I support. So I move that we accept parking study as recommended by our CRA, and that we direct staff to rapidly implement those programs.
I'll second that.
If Ms. President, speaking to the motion itself, by voting in favor of the motion, do I then say that I'm in favor of whatever it is?
Then you're just accepting the study. Just put accepting the study. You're not doing anything, and you're asking staff to come back with a plan of implementation. That's all we're asking.
Right. Okay. To the extent, I think I agree with the particular Mr. Wilson of, we don't want to get our nose in things that are clearly management issues, but the ones that are policy, we just got to make sure that we hold on those. I only have one really comment about it. I mentioned it when the study was done, and I just want to be clear about it that some of the numbers in there are collected over a period of time that include times when there were festivals going on. So the numbers appear, in my view, to be worse than what the reality is on most times of the day. And I don't know how, and I would like to know the feeling of whatever it is that when we talk about difficulty of parking, challenging, frustrating, if the zip code information would show any difference between the assessment of locals, however we define that, and people who are visitors. Because if I go downtown 10, as an example, if I were to go down 10 times, and one time I had a frustrating experience, just how people operate, I might mark it as frustrating. Well, then I'm one person who's 100% frustrated, when in reality, so I'm just worried that it's more of a problem than what it is, and this is just putting it out there. that my enthusiasm for spending other people's money is matched with the enthusiasm of all the other stakeholders to do their part, which means that where others can help out, where we can make sure that employees and others are parking or doing everything they can reasonably and safely, that as that occurs more, my personal or as a council person's enthusiasm will also rise. And the opposite.
Just so that we can kind of give you an idea of management's perspective on this based on the decision tonight. We are actually looking at a pilot program. We have been in contact with Jacksonville and some other areas, looking at shuttles and golf carts and different options. We would like to bring to you at the October 18th meeting a very rough draft of a pilot program. It may not fill in all the gaps at this point in time, but we believe we can put something together. So we have been talking about it. We do want another meeting this week, again, according to the storm schedule that may be out there for us, but we are going to try to bring you a pilot program October 18th with all the information that we have at that point in time. And then we can fill it in from there. It will not be complete, it will not cover everything, but it's a start, and we believe we should start that program.
That's it. Perfect. Okay, that's what I was mentioning that, not really no rush. Now, there's a rush, but no, meeting rush. So if you can make us find something to start earlier. So this suggestion in 2 weeks, and that's fine. That's great. I'll get you the first step. Anybody from the public wish to address this issue? Seeing none, council, we'll go with that. Mr. Johnson, we have a vote on that.
Mr. Robson?
Yes.
Ms. Rich?
Yes.
Mr. Slavy?
Yes.
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mr. Trail?
Yes.
Mr. Roulette?
Yes.
Mayor Jerome?
Yes. Any business for the CRA board?
I should have been, by the way, Mr. Mayor and Council members, to express thanks to the CRA and to Mr. Sanderson and his staff for the work in getting it here. I wouldn't say finally getting it here, but really pushing this, so compliments to them.
May I just ask Mr. Sandersfeld, you said that it was, the full study was available at the city's website under what?
It's in a CRA project
Under
list.
CRA.
Right now, we'll work to see if we can move that tab up a little, since the timing of the meeting.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussions? Okay, motion for adjournment? Okay. Again, we're having the